All right, today is July the 3rd, 2022. Listen up, people. More MK Ultra proofs I'm coming with. There is a first thing I'd like to correct. I have posted this video right here, MK Ultra proofs. In here, red flag for Slovenian state. In respect to my father, etc. I am not taken back from this video. This was posted on June 28, 2022. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this down, and I'm gonna put right on the top of it, I'm gonna put like an update, the video that I'm doing right now, so that that's not gonna be mistakes. Because of multitude of people, I'm not gonna even say technicalities, but malicious lies, I have made mistakes. The psychiatrists alone told me, you are not going to be 100%. You're going to be 1000%, because for every case, they gave at times more than 10 lies they inserted in MK Ultra scenarios. It should be those first testimonies from the people involved in MK Ultra that counted the most, and the memories, even according to logic, that provided you with the statements, basically, with material identifying people involved in MK Ultra. Not taking absolutely anything back in respect to this video here, except for few details. In following video, I am gonna play you Mr. Simon, a nurse, never moved from the hospital to the home for elderly people in 2005. Okay? He obtained employment and worked here ever since, since 2004. But before he obtained employment, he went on to study. And on next opportunity when I meet him, as well as mine, I'm not gonna only ask him about school for the nurse he completed. I think he actually completed something extra too. I believe actually that he did something pre-qualified, that he did maybe even completed some other school, and then he also did, additionally he did this one. He was involved in this since he was young, and there is no way under MK Ultra, when you're subjected to the drugs, that you will go and you will discern between few years difference that will be good enough for you to make a sound 100%. I had 2005, ladies and gentlemen, this is no less than 17 years ago. And he did go and accompany me from the main hospital in the city of the Novo Mesto, department even where my father was, where they held me, to the home for elderly people. He did this stuff. He did this kind of stuff. Actually, excuse me, not to the home for elderly people, but he accompanied me home to my place, literally, to give me an idea that it's where he worked at. Now, it will be also interesting to find out from Mr. Simon next time where exactly was he doing practical part of school, because all these people go and do also practical part. So there is a strong possibility they had him before 2005 inside of the General Hospital Novo Mesto. This is all the stuff that I'm gonna ask him next time, but I'm gonna provide you now with the audio in which I'm gonna prove you, even in this, I was 100% correct. Now, there is a major mistake without which I would not be capable to point out that Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana Polje, in fact, in year 95, 96, almost did not have I'm not going to say that they didn't have any patients inside the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje, because they did. However, mostly these people were concentrated into work inside of the homes for elderly people. They have had, during certain days of the week, they would spend inside of the homes for elderly people. Let me explain to you something. There were two homes for elderly people that were built in Slovenia through this case, literally. No, it's not something that I know something a little bit. I remember a lot of it. In respect to the gentleman, I have stated, if I go back to this video here, I have stated in this video here, in this video I have stated the gentleman inside of the room is a second gentleman inside of the room is from Ljubljana. I have indicated on this page, however, that it could be that he was also from Trebnje, but I was so certain I deleted that stuff, but it really doesn't matter, because through suspicion, let me explain something. Through suspicion, I already have also identified the second gentleman, because thanks to this mistake, I recall the gentleman, the first gentleman from Ljubljana. Okay, if you're gonna watch the video again. Thanks to this mistake, I have identified this gentleman from Ljubljana, how they got him inside of the home for elderly people, his wife. Thanks to this gentleman, I have also recalled my own situation in 2011 is the first time they had me exactly on the bed of the father right now. They tortured me inside of this room, 203, exactly on the bed of my father. It's where it all started. Inside of the home for elderly people. When the torture, the real-time torture started, this was exactly where it all started. Yeah? Thanks to mistake I have made, I have identified exactly what I stated to you about the home for elderly people. Psychiatrists mostly were involved in the homes for elderly people in 95 and 96. I have described to the last millimeter exactly whatever police, whatever investigators, whatever certain people, even that drilled me on these issues that were involved, would require me to. There is absolutely zero mistake. However, Mr. Zalar, director of the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje, that's interesting, updated me in 2014 on a mentioned gentleman whom I have identified without even meeting him on the street. This is the gentleman I am talking in exactly this video. The gentleman that he was from Ljubljana. The gentleman, from what I was told, this gentleman from director of the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana, who updated me in 2014. Inside of this room, he updated me. He told me, please do not mention that gentleman anymore. And I asked why not, because he's dead. It was a real tragedy. Okay, he passed away, I believe, sometimes in probably 2010, just about 2010, you understand? The latest 2012, 2010, something like this. So I even remember for the stated gentleman for whom I had believed is the second roommate of my father, that he passed away like around 2010, 2012, 2011, something like this. Even this information I'm going to provide to the police. It was my mother, thanks to my mother, who became acquainted with these people, became friend, because psychiatrists wanted her to become friend. They wanted her basically to see in exactly the same way, exactly the same fashion, and have introduced in MK Ultra torture this very gentleman, sometimes in 2014, as good to go. Who is this gentleman? This gentleman, next time I'm going to ask his wife, also has daughters. I remember his house and everything. And this gentleman, in fact, is from the city Trebnje area. This is about 30-something kilometer from Novo Mesto, something like this. And I did manage to prove, knowing him as well. You see, here's the Novo Mesto, right? So then again, you have, again, my identifying, pointing out 20 kilometers. Okay, 20 kilometers. He is not, he is around this area here, yeah? So again, you have me pointing out for two gentlemen inside of the father's room, the locations where they are from, absolutely everything you possibly could imagine for a person to identify other people involved in this stuff. So am I taking back anything in respect to this here? Absolutely not. I am issuing even stronger red flag to Slovenian state. I am warning Slovenian state about this issue. In respect to the health condition of my father, you definitely are responsible. There's no fucking way you're gonna bait yourself out of this stuff. It's a mistake in the computer. Greška u kompjuteru. But in your computer, not mine. I got counted absolutely everything. And now, what I am gonna do, I am gonna go ahead, I'm gonna play audio recordings to prove first here stated, yeah, so that I identified both roommates, and I am also gonna do some other stuff in between. There will be probably God knows how many people I'm gonna point out I have identified inside of the home for elderly people. So there's not gonna be questionable, there's gonna be something doubtful, something like about this. The situation inside of the room of my father, the way they orchestrated, the way they designed this is actually supposedly they wanted to design this for me to make mistakes. And yeah, they got me on a thin ice. I did make a mistake, but then again, I have not made a mistake, not even about Mr. Simon. You know, MK Ultra, that's basically when you're drugged up, subjected to drugs, tortured, deprived of sleep, and people play with you. This is what this shit is. And you get death threats, and you get all kinds of threats, and you get a lot of lies. Every person, especially residents inside, gave me more than 10 lies. I can tell you about that kind of stuff too. They worked hard on it to get me on a wrong pattern, to get me, because to get the room inside in there, they just had to. It's not that they're bad people or even that I'm angry at them. These are old people. You can't be angry at these angels, but you know, they did some stuff like this. And I'm gonna tell you, they went into action, they sparked into action also to help my father. That was the lady that I met the last time from Gorjanci, that I remember her too damn good, what was on her mind. So, you know, just want you to know that this mistake I have made is actually no mistake. This is so extraordinary that I recall the gentleman also from Ljubljana, whom I have never even met, was involved. So let's go, and what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna give you some audio. This video, you go ahead and you see yourself one anyways. I'm not taking back anything here. This is all right, this is all good. What we're gonna do is we're gonna identify both roommates from my father inside of the home for elderly people, like they say, without a doubt, on the mind. And we're gonna identify also some other people so that you're gonna see how all that goes. All right.
Jsem Krašovčová.
Aha. Okay. This is a receptionist. I don't know how many people I'm gonna do. I'm gonna call this 1 out of 3 people identified, people involved in MK Ultra. I'm gonna call this series people involved in MK Ultra identified in home for elderly people. Something like this I'm gonna call this. You're gonna see the series is gonna be 1, 2, 3. 2 of 3, 3 of 3, and so on. I call this lady here at the reception, I call her a love of my life. I already have identified her. This is a receptionist. Just bear with me. I call her love of my life because she was apparently very interested in marrying me. She again was doing overtime, and she got overtime, therefore better paid than regular pay, literally for the sake of our marriage. Literally for the sake of our marriage. However, in year holy 2001, the lady turned around both, and she decided to marry some other handsome man, not me. And she probably got married sometimes in 2002, something like this, I would say. Okay, you understand? The receptionist, the main receptionist inside of the home for elderly people. I called her a love of my life. The lady claimed worked overtime, maybe claimed just to make the money in order to marry me, for us to have enough for the marriage. And she's a really, really beautiful lady anyways. Love of my life. She was inside of the home, contrary to my statement when I challenged her first time when I stepped inside and I saw her. I asked her, "You're here since 2005, right?" And she said, I think I said 2005, which is like 17 years back in time. I made a very bad mistake. She was there since, according to her words, since 1995, when MK Ultra started. Let me remind you, I'm not supposed to be outside of the United States of America at any time between 1995 and August of 2006. That's for 11 and a half consecutive years. I have not other but visited on 3 occasions parents of my ex-wife. She is Indian from Ecuador. That's down in South America, but I shouldn't be anywhere else in the world. I was brought time and again to Slovenia, all over Eastern and Western Europe, Japan and China, and Russia, Serbia, Belarus, you name it, Africa, South America, Australia, and forgive me, all other continents, but yeah, also Antarctica, Arctica, everything, everywhere, Greenland, everywhere I was. They had me absolutely everywhere. So, love of my life, yep, she can, I don't know about love of my life, but she can put her hand on a Bible, and if she says anything different than what I stated right now, she's absolutely lying. And I know that she wouldn't want to do this for me anyways. Okay? So that's one of the people identified. Love of my life, I'm going to get to her. I am just going to make it up to next time when I see her. I'm going to challenge her, joke with that issue, because we are always joking with this stuff. And one thing also I have to tell her, that's interesting. Until 2002, when she was interested in me, the cutie didn't gain weight at all. She was quite really slim. And you know, the marriage gets you. but she's really so good looking. We're gonna close a love of my life here. In fact, we're gonna close this chapter and we're gonna go here. I'm gonna see this stuff here so that I get to know exactly what the situation is. 1743, it says here transfer in 2005. Simon, if we go back to this issue, I'm gonna jump a little bit, I have to. When I mentioned about Mr. Simon, there you have it. Let's see how this is gonna go. Okay, the gentleman you hear right now, if I go to the room here, yeah, if I go to this room here, this is one of these two guys here that you see. This is a room 203. I identify this gentleman. This is one of them. I'm gonna identify for you right now. Okay. What we're gonna do is maybe rather like this. One of these two. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give a check mark to the first one. You're gonna have to agree with me. Let's see what's gonna happen with this gentleman. I told him, my father is a roommate with you. And he says, yeah, yeah. He says, yeah, he is. He says, and I remember you. I remember you, I tell him. I said, I don't know if you remember me. By the way, this is very important. This is a 847. And if I go here, 847, so just as you see the data, because this is what I took out of the text. This was recorded on a June the 25th, 2012. This is all messed up, this Android of mine. They're all messed up, whatever they did with them. June 25, 2022. I tell him, listen, you came here late, about 2017 to this place, no? You know why I say this? Do you know why I say this? I don't even understand what he's going to say, because all the people inside of the home for elderly people that they brought me to, they all played with them. They all, for all these poor people, for all these patients, for all these residents, elderly people that they brought in, they all had to comply and do stuff that is really unworthy of the human dignity. It doesn't really matter what he's going to say, because I'm going to point out where he's from and that kind of stuff. So, and you just have to be nice with these elderly people. There is just... He says, no, not 2017. Wait a minute, what is it this? And you are from Tsalya, now, from the city Tsalya, I tell him. You're from the Tsalya city, nah? I tell him, you're from the Tsalya. But the Tsalya, ladies and gentlemen, this is a novel mesto here that you see, and the Tsalya is right here, right? So now, if it's not going to give me directions, and then I'm going to be sad. All right, okay then. Okay, then I'm just going to put like this. Boom, Tsalya. Tsalya is this year that you see here, you see. This is Tsalya. Okay, so this is Slovenia. If you look at the little Slovenia, it looks like this. All right. And I said, here already since 2017, right? Which doesn't really matter to me. But you're from Celia, I tell him, right? You're from Celia, right? And he tells him, no, no, no. He says, no, I'm not. I said, it's not like this. I asked him, it's not like that. I tell him, but you are from the center of Slovenia somewhere. Aren't you from the center of Slovenia? A little bit more towards center of Slovenia. And he says, yeah, I'm from Litija.
Is Litija? No, 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 no.
I said, no, no, no. I said, okay, okay, so then I'm right. And I say 2000 what? 15?
Ste tukaj prišel? V ta dom, pravi. Koliko časa pa ste pa tukaj? Od lani samo, a res? Ampak ste bil pa že prej v domovih?
Okay, it's like this. I don't understand anything what the gentleman is saying. I'm not sure. I'm not even sure what is he saying. Maybe he's saying 2012, not 2015, not 17, not 14. Okay, all right. It really doesn't make no difference. It really doesn't make no difference because this gentleman was in a picture already for like 25 years. You don't understand. This gentleman in my head, inside of the home for elderly people, already was on the picture. Okay, let me be really sometimes like since 2002. All right, so that's I'm gonna go like 22 years. 22 years. Okay, you understand? That's how far I trace this man. I trace him to year 2000, 2002. It really doesn't matter to me, as I said, but listen, you were already before inside of the homes for elderly people. This is not your first home.
Yeah.
He says, yes, I was. He says, I was in Terbolia. Okay, so now let's see what this is. I pointed out to him Celia, right? And he said, no, Celia is not. Okay, Terbolia, well, that's here. That's just near Celia, right? So now, with this man who was inside of this home in Terbolia, accordingly to this, be identified as identified, that somebody would manage to identify him? I say absolutely. Now, I said Celia and I said more towards center of Slovenia. Now look at the Slovenia. The center of Slovenia is actually right here. This here is the center of Slovenia. And the name is Litija. And that's exactly what he stated he's from. Okay? He is from Litija. I pointed out that he was in a homes for elderly people already prior to the home for elderly Novo Mesto. And he told me, yes, I was inside of the Terbolia already before. And I am telling you right now, this man already was inside of the homes for elderly people between 2000 and 2002. So if you can identify a person better than this, and he gave me, this man loves me. This man loves me, and I love this man. He loves me. These people love me. These people inside this residence love me. But they had to stick to the stories which Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana Polje, and even more so, the one who forced Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana Polje to lie, to do this stuff, that's a police. That's a Slovenian police. That's a Milan Kučan. So I'm gonna cut no shortcuts. If you can do better than this, so much I have gone through. Inside of this home for elderly people, I'm taking the accounts from people about their past. This, inside of this home, probably I estimate I'm just gonna tell you that probably if I say 100, it's a very little number, that 100 families were involved literally in a torture. I'm just gonna say used like a torture. You know, it was all kinds of stories that were born out of that, but when it comes to involved in this case, everybody inside of this home for elderly people was involved in it. Probably even the people that should be here and they're not, and so on and so forth. And I don't take no hard feelings against this older people. There's nothing you can do. Okay, so this is one man. Yeah, I'm gonna put the check mark. I don't know, and I'm not gonna indicate who it is, which one of these gentlemen, but this is one you have to admit I have identified. Let's go.
Okay.
So then I'm gonna play you also in Slovenian language. There is a resident I met, and this resident, they always brought people inside. They always brought people inside over and over and over to the same department, to the same floor. They always brought these residents inside. Whenever they brought me in, they had these people in to give me an impression and ask me, interrogated me, how long is this one? How long do you remember this one? How long do you remember that one? How long do you, where is this one from? Where is that one from? Questions also that I shouldn't be asked. Those are the questions that actually help tremendously. I asked the man whether he knows the Andre Ul. I don't know what he said, that he is here, I don't know, 3 years or something like this. I asked him if he is here since 2015 or something like that. I don't even know what he said. It doesn't really matter because this is completely frequent, this stuff. The neighbor, my neighbor Andre Ul, was the one who was bringing me to this. Whenever they brought me inside for a visit to father, they always had these people in there. That's it. I'm gone. I'm going home that day. And right outside, before I exit the building, I meet the lady and she says, I don't know who you are. That was one of the residents. I said to her, I go past and I'm always smiling at people, and she's looking at me and she said, I don't know who you are. I said, and when I hear this, I stop and I say, hey, do I look to you like familiar? I am Krašovec, she says. And my name is Boštjan Ausec, I tell her. And she says, how? Boštjan Ausec, I tell her.
Boštjan?
Yeah.
Čugal?
And she says, whose? And I say, Auschwitz. I am from Kirka and this and that. I gave her the...
Yeah.
She says, we just randomly look at one another, ha ha ha.
Okay.
I am almost about to go, and I say, okay, I said, I almost say, have a nice day. And and the other lady says, you never know. And I said, yeah, you never know. And she says, oh, you never know. She says, maybe if we would talk, maybe we would learn that we are relatives. Ah, okay, so this is very, very, very suspicious to me. I said, maybe really, I said, and then I decided we're going to talk a little bit. If you, the lady tells me, if you talk, right, then you can see if you are related or not. She says, from the friend, the relatives are born. She says, do you have somebody here? I said, father. Yes, I have father. She said, do you have him for a long time here? I tell him it's new, but he already was in hospital, spent a lot of time. She says, I'm here only 4th year, she tells me. I said, but no. I tell her, wait a minute. I tell her, I don't think I can confirm this, really. I tell her, listen, you are from a Straža location, right? Am I right? Okay, let's see what the situation here is, right? Okay, so we have a city of the Novo mesto. So we have a city of the Novo mesto. So this is a city from Novo mesto. And then you have Straža, right? That's basically here. I just cut in between and I tell her, okay, so you're from Straža, right? Just right cut in between. When she tells me that she's here only 4 years, I kind of disagree with it. And I said, yeah, you're from Straža, I tell her. You're from Straža, I think. And she tells me, yeah, that is correct.
Yeah.
Now she says yes, but almost a little bit, I'm not sure, disappointed, or I think that she's amazed actually. And then I asked her, I said, so do we know each other by any chance? She says, in that case, well, in that case we really do. I tell her, you see, in one moment, all of a sudden we're family, relatives. So I tell her, listen, lady, so then I do remember you. Do you admit? She says, yes, you do. Then now I want to get the confirmation from her. Now I want to hear her account. So I say, now do you remember? How about do you remember me? That's what I want to hear really. Now all of a sudden, no. She says, your parents better. And the next question she asks me, who are my parents? That's good. That's good that she can recall my parents, but who are my parents? But older people have this habit. They, you know, she knows how to play, that's for sure. And you have no idea how much you would underestimate older people. There are foxes in there in that home for elderly people. It's not that would be, you know, my father has unidentified dementia. He was labeled with unidentified dementia, not labeled, but given the status. And that's the kind of stuff that can always improve in one day or worsen or whichever way it is. You know, this home for elderly people, I was told by residents in there, it's all kinds of stuff that goes on. They do to other people to stuff. It's all kinds of stuff that goes on. Police does all kinds of stuff in there. And this residence, I'm thinking actually about this older residents in there. Is this like, I was like some kind of a party, like they brought me in there, I think, and this older people had like a fun or something like this, doing stuff to me unlimited, basically. I think maybe something like this. Which, if that is the case, then it's all good. Older people need form of entertainment. Although I don't think that should be a form of entertainment. I have gone through inside of that home for elderly people. But when it comes to elderly people, this elderly people, I don't take no. This is just the elderly people. I mean, you know, how can I say? They've used these people for the stuff that it should never happen, but I don't want to discuss this kind of stuff. I tell her, you know what? I tell her, she asked me, what year are you? You know, she says, I tell her, when she tells me that she knows better my parents than me, I tell her, you know, the truth is, I don't even think that you remember my parents. You definitely remember me, but you can't remember my parents. I doubt about that, I tell her. She asked me, what is the year of your birth? And I tell her, 1971. And I tell her, I am younger than your daughter. Now she is, did you hear what I said? I am younger than your daughter. So I point at her saying that she has a daughter, and the daughter is older than myself. You see, in my head I already calculated how I know her, where I know her, and this and that. So now she was catching breath. Yeah. If I record you this stuff one more time, she was just grasping for air. Let's do this again. She says, yeah. And now she goes, yeah. Then she's laughing. I said, she's not single anymore, no. She already got married. She's got 3 sons. She's got 3 sons. I say to her, when she start talking to me about that kind of stuff, I tell her, you know, she got married in 2008 or 2010. She says she did earlier. 83, she did in 83. I said, and then I really made a mistake, very bad mistake.
Ne.
Ja, ona je 58 let za.
58.
She is 58. That means, well, 14 years older than myself.
50.
Ja, to vidi, ona je
Ti je
pediona.
Aha, ti 13 let starejši od mene.
Ja, ja.
13 years older than myself, 14 years.
Ja, veš.
Pa je lušna ženska, kot mama.
Ja,
Ajde.
spomin imamo pa še ena druga.
Lepo se majte.
Srečno.
Okay, so we go apart. We go apart.
Ja.
We go apart.
12, 14. Ja, 14 let nazaj, 50, ne? To je zmeraj zelo lušna ženska. Ne? Dobro, ajde. Lepo se majte, nasvidenje.
I tell her bye. That's all. 14 years ago, I tell her she was just 50, and at 50 she was still good looking. There is something other issue though.
She was involved in MK Ultra for I have no idea since, I'm not gonna say 95. I don't know. Maybe 97, okay? Let's just say
95,
97.
really, 95. I go with 95. 96, 95, I go.
She, her daughter, her daughter has already a daughter too.
Boom. The one who was soliciting me for the marriage in 2010 was actually already her granddaughter. And that granddaughter, next time when I meet her, completed faculty, university. Boom, boom, boom. So there is more information on it. Let's continue. So, do you have a doubt that I know these people or not? I wouldn't doubt information like this. At the end, what I'm going to do is, as I stated, I'm going to play you all these audios. So for right now, we're going to do audio 847. We're going to say this one, adios. And we're going to go here and we're going to see when this thing was recorded. This was recorded on for 847. Just want to make sure about that. It was June the 25th, and we will continue with this is going actually along pretty fast. This is not going to take so much time as I thought. On this audio recording, I think it's also evident that I talk about the overtime hours, and she confirms this. But I did not talk about overtime hours as much as I have spoken to you right now here. This is audio recording number 895. The audio recording 895. It's an audio recording right here. This was done on July the 22nd, 2022. And what I am going to do at this point, I'm going to open the whole audio recording because it's an important part I skipped, but this is the same audio recording. And first thing I'm gonna oh, this is basically how I go about this stuff.
Yes, ampak ne.
Je Jelena ustreza.
Ja.
Prav, ti ščepiček pa si lahko narediš. I prefer doing the meal.
Nobel nima stila.
Tako da. Da ne bo do tega prihajalo. Dej. Znanje je zelo, zelo pomembno. Prosim.
Jaz sluhavješko kuđenje tovar, jaz mu rekel potreban. To ni res.
Ne, to ni res. Nikdar ne smeš obuhati.
Ne.
Ni res.
This is very important for me because it's time to identify the second German. The second gentleman inside of the room, roommate of my father.
Drugo spot je bil iz Ljubljane. On je pa tukaj nekje iz
Trebnje.
Trebnje. Ja, ne da?
Ja.
Ja.
There you go. Let's do it again. Boom. That's the stuff I was looking forward to. We're gonna amplify this stuff. Level, amplify, boom. This is the gentleman I was talking to earlier, whom I have identified absolutely. He comes inside of the room and I said to him, I think the gentleman is actually from the Trebnje city. You know, I just recalled right now that he is from the Trebnje city. I say, I just realized what a mistake I have made here with this thing here. That when I stated that this man was actually from Ljubljana, the man I have mistakenly called that he was from Ljubljana, that he actually is from Trebnje, this man. It just got to me. And the gentleman, the roommate, comes inside, whom I have also earlier asked whether he is from Ljubljana, and he told me no. I asked him now if he is from Trebnje, and he tells yes, he is from Trebnje. There you go.
Trebnje. Yeah.
So he says yes. He says he's excited just as I am.
Drugo spot je bil iz Ljubljane. On je pa tukaj nekje iz
Trebnje.
Yeah.
There you go. So now you can say that I identified both of these roommates from my father. Okay, so there you have it. You got this, and we're gonna put one more like this. Everybody inside the room is now identified as per where he is from. I don't have anything else I would say. This man has got quite a big house. This is a little bit bigger size of the house. This is a bigger size of the house. You know, he's got a daughter and I think he probably also has a son. There is a strong possibility that his son already has a house next to his house too. I'm not completely sure about it, but I think they have actually two houses. But he's got a house, or the possibility is that the daughter moved with another guy into... He's got more than one child, and I think he's got a daughter and son. Okay, so there you have it, Trebne. That's exactly what I told you earlier the case is gonna be. The second roommate from my father, there are 3 people inside in the room 203. He is from Trebne. He's from Trebne, whatever. I already have indicated this. He's from Trebne area, yeah? So there you have it. And we do it like this. It's not really so near. It's actually 22, 23 kilometers with a car. I pulled out basically the whole audio recording this time. I'm gonna close this down in a little bit because I made a mistake. In the recording which I have took everything out, okay? In the recording which I took everything out, which I I don't even know how you say it. Took the audio out, okay? The excerpt. I asked him that day, therefore on June the 25th, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I am definitely mistaken. July the 2nd, 2022. I asked him first when I walked inside if he's from Ljubljana. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy paste this somewhere to prove that nobody told me anything in between or something like this. And the original clip is available. Everything is as it is. Never was edited. The original clip. The original clip is this one here. This is the original clip. This is the original clip right here. That's what this is. This is the original clip. 111.942.355 bytes. 106 megabytes it says right there. That's what that is. Because I made a mistake and I'm very punctual about this. Well, this is going to be actually very easy. I had no idea that it's so close that I have recorded that he came right after me inside of the room. That's very good. That's very good actually. I didn't pay attention to time.
Ja, da boste spet tako, kot je treba. To lahko samo en človek naredi. Povedzte nekaj vprašam, lepo prosim. Če je vaš v sobi, ki ste skupaj imeli s gospodom, a je on tam iz okolice Ljubljane? pa gospod.
I asked him, the same gentleman as I stated, that I asked earlier, and I already have identified he is from, that he was in a home for elderly in Terbolia and that he's from Litia. I asked him, is this gentleman, the second gentleman who is with my father and you inside of the room, is he from Ljubljana?
Here. Kio Sabi.
He says, no, no, no.
Aha, dobre.
He says, no.
Živijo.
He doesn't know. He says he doesn't know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play this again.
Dobar dan, ljudi. Pozdravite nekaj vprašam, lepo prosim.
Ja.
Ker je vaš v sobi, ki ste skupaj imeli s tem gospodom,
Ja.
a je on tam iz okolice Ljubljane? Ta gospod.
Here.
Ki je v sobi, zvečer tam pa z vami je. Iz kje on
Ne.
Ne bi vedel? Aha, dobre. Hvala lepo, živijo.
Authenticity wise, I just want to make sure this is only going to take a minute because he comes right after me inside of the room. It'll be really easy to confirm that as soon as I came all the way to the room, I asked him again if he is not from Trebnje. Nobody told me anything about this. This is authentic tape. This is just the way it is. And all the tapes are available.
Dobar dan, želim. Kako se počutiš? Je kaj boljš se počutiš? Imamo prav, da si slišal? Imam se jih vzelo, da si malo spusti dol. To je... Kaj? Ja bom še slišal, ampak malo se slišal.
I'm talking to my father, basically, inside of the room. This is very important to prove the authenticity of my claims. Extremely important.
To mi je prišlo nazaj, to bom vzel. Aja,
I tell father I'm gonna go get myself a chair and I'll come back. And there is chair, I think, in the room already. So these are two roommates identified. Then you have two residents identified with their children and their grandchildren. Actually two, what am I talking about? More than that. Go and count how many. The receptionist was my sweetheart. I recall her, I don't know, since 97.
Ki iz Trebnjega ta gospod, zdaj sem se spomnil točno. Ta drugi gospod je bil iz Ljubljane. On je pa tukaj nekje iz
Trebnje.
Trebnje. Ja, ne da?
Ja.
So I pointed out, and he gives me a green light that the second gentleman, in fact, is from Trebnje. So the Ljubljana was a mistake I had made. I apologize, and then again I don't apologize. This is exceptional video here. This thing here is exceptional video. This is exceptional video. The only thing it is, I have mistaken the gentleman who now already unfortunately is dead for this gentleman. But I have absolutely not made a mistake. I have just identified one more gentleman and situation for which I was told is going to be a situation of my father and me. They terrorized, they did all kinds of stuff. You could not take lightly this stuff, and I am issuing a red flag warning to the state of Slovenia also in respect to the health condition of my father. This stuff here that I have written about, everything I have written, everything is written, everything is said right there, everything is intact, now proven with audio recordings, undisputable. Just as I stated, absolutely everything is in there. Nobody can go about and prove me wrong now. Let's go. I am gonna take this thing off now, and we'll basically go to original audio recordings, which afterwards what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play them to you. So there is no mistakes, there is absolutely no mistakes. I know there are people that already probably counted or something like this. Come on, that's just really in vain for nothing. I don't make no mistakes. This is a recording 835. The recording 835 should be the recording, this one here, 835, like psychiatrists have stated. They alone have stated, you are gonna be the one 1000% correct. They argued on 100 and they changed due to lies they asserted inside. In fact, you're the only one in this world that said it's gonna be 1000% right. Here, June the 23rd, 2022, let's go. I came on a visit to my father, please, hi. His name is Sava, you know, and he is in the room, such and such. And what's your name, please, such and such. She checks the information, yes, yes. I tell her, you're here since 2003. I said earlier 2005. No, I said actually 2003, and that was wrong. That was really wrong. 2003. Do you know why I stated 2003? I stated, this is the love of my life, I'm talking to you. To my receptionist. I stated 2003 because you started to gain weight in 2003. Because before you were much, much skinnier. You know? Too many donuts got you, and probably your husband, your hubby that loves you so much. She said I, and she is laughing, she's laughing, she's laughing. Oh, how happy she is. She said, you still look young and good. And she's laughing. Oh, how happy she is right now. About this laughter. One time, I supposedly did something really, really stupid. I was nasty as hell. And it was a director that was in front of the reception, stressing her issues. And I was right there and under MK Ultra, and she was yelling and screaming at me. And I gave her, I don't know, probably such a look. Or maybe I started to ridicule her. I laughed to her and stuff. And break through this atmosphere, ice and other people started to laugh, and she was started to laugh like a squirrel behind that counter at the reception. Ooh, and I understand she got in a trouble, and that's when she promised me that she's gonna get me in trouble. You're gonna see, I'm gonna laugh at you and this and that. That's why she's so, yeah.
Kupcajte pa, ja, to prvo mesto bilo na ne vem, kupcajte več ne, dosti, ne. Seveda, da se vas spomnim, vožnjo pozabil.
She asked me, "Do you remember me?" I said, "Yeah, of course. Who would forget you? You know, you're beautiful."
Szép. Akkor csináltól, a mami, Pasi direktor,
She said she asked me, "And who did you come here to?" I told to my mother, to my father, to your directors, and to myself.
direktor, sono gostil, ja, no bist, tak, komma. Polepšam vam dom, po svojem sem pač skrbom bilo pa zanimivo, ne, zdaj, je bil fajn. Več mi smešen. Ja, to je. Ko se ti končuješ, smo tako ločno, ki je ni nujno, ne, to ni nujno. Zdaj, to šanse, ja, mislim, ni nujno pažiti. Je kakšno odbigalo, je to takšno? Je. Ali če mi uspeš, seveda. Dobro. Ok, hvala lepo.
So I go upstairs, okay. This was my first visit to home for elderly people.
Oni govorimo na dve strani. Vi, ne, ker se pa več gre, ne, da vam pa še tu povem. To se pa tudi pravim spomniti, to se pa... Ja, vseh vi ste najnovejši, ne, samo vi ste pa pozabili, kad ste prišel.
Jaz sem 3 leta.
Koliko? 3 leta?
Okay, this is the girl that she would come for a visit here to this place. She says, "I'm here 3 years. I could go as far as 2015, and this is a really young girl, and trust me, this girl was actually interested in me. Simply, MK Ultra doesn't define anything. She tells me 3 years. However, if you pay attention, when I ask her, "Let me see how long you're here," I was very, very, very careful with it because I knew that I tried to set her up. She first visited this place in 2013. She was coming here to visit me, to this place here. In 2013. Might have been even under her legal age. To me, she was awfully young back then. Very beautiful girl. I told her, "And you're the newest one, and you're the newest one." Yeah, of the people that I remember, that's the newest one. She says, "I am here 3 years." Okay, 3 years, this is like 2019, basically barely that I would put her on the picture. I knew that they tried to plant her. I knew that they believed I'm gonna say 2013, 2015, the least 2015, but I was really, really, really cautious. So again, I was correct. As when I said, "You're new," I said, "I remember you too." You understand? I remember you too. Keep in mind, it was year 2020 when the MK Ultra ended for me. And I said, "I remember you too, but you are the newest one." Problem solved. She said, "I am here 3 years. Well, that's it. For me, the MK Ultra basically, when I was brought from Poland here, it was 2020. So bingo, again, that's basically how you do it. This is how you do it. But I'm gonna tell you that I don't remember her only from 2019. I just said that she is completely new because I knew they're gonna try to plant her. I knew that. I remembered that part. Just as I remembered the part for the other man who was inside with my in my father's room. That too. For these guys that I remember them from 2000, from 2002, I could go and say, you've been here for 20 something years and so on and so forth. Boy, I would be wrong. You understand? So I know about that stuff, but I claim that this girl was already involved in 2013, 2012, when she was still underage, whatever. They paid her literally through, okay, that's the information for you. They paid her, they financed her literally through local job for agency, state agency. Okay, so they know, bing, bing, you got more information. Anything you want, anything you want. Now, let's go, and I am gonna go to the next. Her name is Špela. She says there are newer people. Okay. I remember this from MK Ultra. Mrs. Špela told me she was very concerned for me. She likes me. This girl likes me. She likes me. She was very worried about MK Ultra. She was also the one who warned me about. So it's probably because of her that I remember to be cautious when asking about the date and about the time. Yeah, indeed. So, and thank you, girl. Well, I already provided information. It was a local state agency who paid for this. Transition, education, job, whatever.
Vaša kolegica je pa tukaj bila že zelo dolgo časa. Vi ste pa tukaj že dolgo časa, ne?
Ja.
Enih 20 let več, 15.
I tell her, you're here about 20 years, 15 years, 20 years, you're here for a very long time.
Ta gospa, ki je šla pa tale v črnem, ki je bila.
And the lady who just passed on a hallway, watch out. A guest, a resident, watch out.
Ja.
Tako, spletna gospa. Ona je pa skrbnica, ne, za eno gospo, ne.
She is a carer for one lady, if I am not mistaken, right?
Ki je tudi, ta gospa je tukaj tudi že, ne vem, koliko časa, tudi enih 10 let verjetno.
This lady she takes care must be here at least 10 years.
Ne? Ne?
She says no. It is no. It's no because of the reasons I told you before. They set the people up with, she's a daughter. With her daughter, I was all over this home for elderly people. With her daughter, with her mother, she would get like a special treatments. Special, through this case, she would come to this home for elderly people and they would put her, she said, to put in a nice wing, and they would put us in a wing that would have a view. And the next time they put us in a private room in another room. This daughter was very interested in me. And the next time, and it was not once, I found myself in a private terme, in where they had pools and special room. She didn't go on a pool with me or something like that, but inside the room I can describe exactly what inside of the room used to look like. Involved at least since 2008. That is no less than 14 years. Okay, so again, she's going to tell me, no, that's her mother, and she's been here for 5 years. Well, with the residents, it's impossible, really, but come on, what's not possible with me? I pulled information out, just as psychiatrists alone have stated, you're going to
Ali je
be
pastirka njena, a res?
1000%.
Aha, okej.
The daughter, she tells me.
Ani, nočka, pridno, srečno.
Ampak je pa ta gospa, neke gospe, a ne? Nekaj takega. Koliko časa je pa ona že tukaj?
Jo, ne vem, točno, 5 let.
A 5 let.
5 years. 5 years is the mother here.
Vi ste pa hišnik tle, kaj?
I tell him, and you, sir, that's basically when I go downstairs already. When I go downstairs, okay, I'm gonna have to describe that to you. Right below on the first floor, it's actually a simple thing. Have you ever been inside of the mental ward? The thing is, I'm not allowed to post pictures. I'm not allowed to post videos. People are not allowed to take. As a matter of fact, there's no sign, there's nothing. Maybe I am allowed. I'm gonna find out about that stuff. But they, just during MK Ultra, they didn't like this. Okay, but this is right down in the bottom floor as you go to this building for nursery, for rehabilitation, for the nursery, nursing building inside of the home for elderly people. I will never forget the psychiatrists. All the psychiatrists. The first one was Proxil, here from Blue Lagoon. She was the first one. She enjoyed to terrorize people. Oh, how this girl enjoyed to terrorize people. And she terrorized this guy, Andre Uhl, the neighbor here. And she terrorized another guy. They would go downstairs with me, and then they would not know the way out of the building, because when you come downstairs, when you go inside the first time, you go for something else. You don't actually. I didn't go inside to identify people. I went inside to see the father, to do the stuff with the father. I was talking to myself, and I said, fuck this, I gotta go and help see first what's going on with the father. And I'm doing this kind of stuff that's really insane. And so as you go inside, when you go through this reception area, then you go out through the garden, and you go inside of this building, and you find yourself basically right in front of the elevator, and you find yourself right in front of stairway, and to your left you're gonna have like a wing, like a typical psychiatric wing. I used to work inside of the psychiatric hospital in Miami. Funny shit is that I used to be surveillance system operator. I worked alongside correctional officers, and this is what they did to me in Slovenia. In Miami, I used to work in one of the facilities, and this is what my situation is here. Never mind. Like a typical psychiatric hospital. Okay, you don't have, those cards that you would swipe, so that would be just for the staff that would go in and out, or maybe even a controller somewhere, like was my case, that would manually open the door for the people in and out upon approval, let residents in and out. But in this case, everybody can walk in and out, but really to convert this building probably into a psychiatric facility would be just probably to change the windows and install the electronic gates, doors, basically. And that's all there is, equipment. That's all there is to it. And so to your left, as you go upstairs, you have the hallway, like a wing to your left. And you have a stairway, and you have an elevator. When you come downstairs, however, it's a different picture, because if you don't pay attention to that, and you just, like I did, I just went zip straight up, and then the elevator went down, it was a totally different view. Now all of a sudden I found myself going the opposite way, right? And now to my left was another wing. To my right was the wing I have seen earlier, and in front of me it was just this exit through the garden, which quite honestly I didn't recall that should use at that point. I was completely under impressions of people that I have seen upstairs and father and everything, so I just didn't pull. And it was that time, it also happened to others, that this psychiatrist cops also, Tatiana approached this psychiatrist, they would ambush the people and mock them. Basically, if you do it one more time, you probably already qualify for mentally ill. That's how they pressured the MK Ultra staff members. They harassed them. I recall this very good. But these guys went wrong, not only once, not twice, not 3 times. This was all kinds of chaos that went on, and they really enjoyed harassing people, right? And so as I go, I'm not going to claim this as MK Ultra proof, but next time, if I'm going to pass through there were 2 ladies that went, and those 2 ladies that day that I went through that door, I'm not claiming this. I'm not going to claim this as a credit. Those 2 ladies don't come here on a visit every day. Maybe I'm going to see them again. But those 2 ladies are from Sevnica area. Sorry, it didn't come to me on time. But next time, maybe we're gonna meet. I can get some more of this proofs about it. Sorry, those ladies were visiting their parents. They were also involved in MK Ultra. I missed that one. But luckily for me, there is a man. I asked him, and you're a housing man, right? You're the one who take care, repair stuff like this, a housing guy. Yeah? And so, let's play this stuff here. Write down as I go.
Vi ste pa hišnik tle, kaj?
Ne.
Niste hišnik.
He says, no, I'm not. I'm not a houseman. No. I'm not a repair, a houseman. And so I go. And I said to myself, man.
A te mašine servisirate?
I said that, so you service these machines here. Yeah, he says, yeah, that's exactly what I do. Yeah.
Dobro, hvala.
I said, thank you. He says, no problem. Man, I am calculating at this moment when I say thank you. I'm buying myself time and going through real fast.
Старий.
You know what, I turned around and I go back to him and I said, I just wanted to ask you a question, please. He said, please, yeah, go ahead. I said, this is the whole history about this. He says, I don't know, what is it about?
Ja, gospoda, enega so me celo izpeljali, neki so.
I said one guy, he was from Celje. He was from Celje.
Vi ste tukaj od
I tell him, you come here to service this?
katerega leta, tole servicirate?
Just a moment,
Pred tem
please.
je bil pa en privatnik drug.
Before you, there was another guy, a company owner, self-employed guy.
Seveda je bil.
He says, yes. Of course he was, I say.
Vi ste pa tukaj že od, da vam povem,
And you are here since already, to tell you.
ja ne, vi ste tukaj tam od enega 2008-2010.
I said, you are here since 2008, 2010.
Ste dobil pogodbo. Pred tem je bil pa en drug, je bil pa iz Celja, ni bilo.
Before this, it was some other guy who was from Celje. You got the contract here. So you're self-employed, you come here to do the stuff.
Ne, je bil tudi tukaj.
He says, no. He said, he also was from Novo mesto.
In tole novomeščan je bil.
Ja, ja,
He says, he was from the Novo mesto.
ja, ja.
A res?
He says, yes, yes.
Mislim, da je bil Bratuš gor.
Ja, ti bo to.
He says it was some kind of guy that he gives me the name. He says, I say, yeah, it was.
Sledijo tej zadevi. No.
Tako je.
He says, that is correct. That is correct. This always the servicers were self-employed people. Basically, he says, yes, I am self-employed. I come here to service, and that is correct. Between 2008 2010, since I got the contract to work here.
Ajde, hvala. Živijo.
We both laugh. We handshake. I thank the man. You see what I told you about this stuff, that this looks like Starejših hospital. That's what I literally meant.
Dobar dan. Ja, bo uspel vam priti.
Bomo takole naravnost,
Ja,
bomo tam levo,
dobro.
šli levo.
Vi ste pa hišnik tle, kaj?
Ne.
Niste hišnik.
Ne.
I'm just going to demonstrate you basically what that looks like.
servisirate.
That's exactly what I told you right now
Hvala.
about the man whom I have identified.
Jaz sem vas hotel vprašati. Aha, to je pa cela zgodovina tega.
Zakaj se gre?
Ja, enega so imeli celo iz Celja, neki so hodili. Zdaj, vi ste tukaj od katerega leta tule servisirate? Predtem je bil pa en privatnik drug.
Ja.
Seveda je bil. Vi ste pa tukaj že od, da vam povem, ja ne, vi ste tukaj tam od enega 2008-2010, ste dobil pogodbo. Predtem je bil pa en drug, je bil pa iz Celja, ni bilo.
Ne, je bil tudi tukaj.
Je tlele novomeščan je bil?
Ja.
A res?
Mislim, da je bil Bratuš gor.
Ja, ti bo toliko ljudi v tej zadevi. Da.
Tako je.
Ajde, hvala vam. Ajde, živijo. dam.
The two ladies, I told you, these two ladies, next time I'm gonna talk to them. These were workers at the Sevnica. They are from Sevnica. Boom, boom, you got two more. That's why I did this. I haven't done for that other stuff. I did it for this, and here is basically when I completely unplug myself from that issue and I continue. Oops, I hit the end of this tape as well. And I wasn't lazy, really. I wasn't lazy. It's just that there's one thing I have not done. I have failed, and I have to do it like this now as a result of all this stuff. I gotta do it right in front of you. This is from yesterday. Alright, so the following tape goes to what is known as yesterday. Let's just get going.
Pa če boš jedel, se bom jaz...
Tu je to. Boom. Let's go. And this here is a 895. I see now that I did extremely poor job. Let me see. And basically I'm gonna open one from here to see what have we not. Now that was really stupid of me. That was really stupid. I have done that was very bad. This is the most powerful maybe tape of them all after all. And you know, I was just
Tu je čist. Moraš se delovati, oče. Moraš se delovati. Ko gospa pride, pa kaj ti hoče...
Yeah, it was a mistake here.
Kaj ni bolj... Ampak predhodno... Aha. Ja. Kaj pa kakšno... Ja.
I already walk out of the facility and I see this man I have seen a little earlier on a hallway. He passed next to me. And I decided to see who this man is because this guy goes by oldest man I can remember, actually the time-wise. You know, this is not the oldest man, not at all. But I remember him on a picture or longer than anybody else. And as I'm about to go, I see this man and I said, wait. I said, wait a minute, let's go see this guy right there. You see, I'm about to sit in the car already, then I close the door and I go to this gentleman right there. He is right outside of the home for elderly people here in the Novo mesto.
Če bi rekel, bom pa še vas pogledal, da vas vidim.
I said, I said, you know what? I said, before I go, I'm gonna see you too. And he said, what are you saying, basically? And I said, please, let me ask you a question. I remember you as well. I said to him, in this whole facility, I tell him, listen to me, sir, I want to ask you a question, please. This is an old, beautiful man right there. He was just outside of the building to himself. And I said, please tell me something, sir. Are you the longest resident inside of this building? Is there anybody inside of this building, in this facility, in this entire facility, that is longer than you here?
Niste najdlje od vseh?
Ja.
Are you the longest here? Are you the longest here? And he is laughing. He is all of a sudden, he's all cherished. He's happy. He's laughing.
Dolgo pa sem, ne?
He says, yeah, he says to me, yeah, I'm not the longest one, but I am here for a very, very long time, he says. And I said to myself, man, if you're not the longest one, I doubt that he is not the longest one, you know, because I remember him on the picture as the longest, longer than anybody else. So I really want to know, who is this man?
Če bi rekel, bom pa še vas pogledal, da vas vidim. Vas se tudi še spomnim.
Kaj?
Dajte mi eno stvar povedati. A ste vi tukaj najdlje not v tem domu? Niste najdlje od vseh? Niste?
Dolgo pa sem, ne?
A dolgo pa ste?
Ja.
Niste pa najdlje? Koliko časa ste tukaj?
Ja, kot
He says no, but I am long time here. I said, but you're not the longest one, the person in this building who is the longest. He says I am long here. He says, and say, how long are you here?
dom.
Koliko časa, ko je dom?
He says, I am here since the home for elderly people existed. And so it's like any other question anybody wants to ask. That means if he is as long as since the home for elderly was built, how can you possibly doubt about my testimony about this? I mean, is there like anybody in the world that will actually dare to cast doubt on me? All the residents I have met so far, the longest would be like 2015. Maybe somebody said maybe 2012 or whatever. So, is there like anybody in this world that would doubt this MK Ultra case?
Za 40 let je že bilo.
The gentleman tells me 40 years already passed.
Pa vi ste tukaj 40 let.
So I said, you're here already 40 years.
Ja, jaz sem bil tukaj vrtnarja, pa sem pomočil.
Pa sem upravljal s tem.
She said to me, I was here a gardener, and then I stayed here. And so that was, I told him, sir, but then I was right. You said no and yes. In that case, if you are here since they built this home, then I am 100% correct. Then I'm right about this if you're 40 years here.
Da ste najdlje tukaj.
So you are then the longest person inside of this facility. He is also the longest one in my memory, in my MK Ultra memory too.
Ja, jaz sem
Žena sem imel tudi tukaj.
Prosim.
Žena je
He says I had a wife here too.
tudi tukaj.
A žena je bila tudi
Ja,
tukaj.
I couldn't remember the wife because I didn't see her.
zdaj je pokojna.
Yeah, she died. She died, you know when she died? She died sometimes in like 2013. The next time when I come, I'm gonna ask him. His wife died sometimes in 2013. It was something like this, okay? So, what do you want about this testimony? I can also tell you the man also has, I believe, and son and daughter, both of which are married. His son, I think, lives on Gurm, I think. If he has a daughter, I know that he has a son. I'm pretty sure that he has a son. I'm 100% sure that he has a son. But I am equally certain that he has a daughter because they would come for a visit. So I think he's got a son and a daughter. That's something I did not verify, not the date of the death of his wife, nor have I verified about the son and daughter. But I know that they had a children. I did not verify. Next time when I see the gentleman, I'm gonna ask.
Aha, koliko časa pa je?
Ja, 3 leta.
3 leta. Ampak se vas dali skupaj, pa ste bila skupaj.
No, I was mistaken about that. She died in 2019, I suppose. So that I made a mistake.
Skupaj.
In vzajemni, ja.
That I
Kako
made a
kakšno?
mistake. That I really, really made a mistake. And that I really, really made a mistake. That I really made a mistake. But yeah, all in all, this is such a sharp witnessing that it's impossible to refute. That it's impossible to dispute any of this stuff. Next time when I meet him, I'm just gonna get more confirmation on the stuff that I have stated.
Ja. Ja, ne. Pa tle gre se malo okoli pogledati, vrtnarijo, pa kako je pa vse.
Ja, zdaj nič več.
Zdaj nič več.
Saj ste
So this used to be a gardener. He used to take care of everything, and this was the man, the first one that would take me inside of this garden house where he was doing the gardening and stuff. And next to the stuff that they told me about this home for elderly people, or actually about the plans, how they're gonna hospitalize me and put me in a psychiatric hospital and put me in home for elderly people, boy, that was year 99. At age 27, 28, I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to see anybody. I was traumatized, boy. When I came to this facility, I was traumatized like you wouldn't believe. This is bullshit. I didn't even understood what this is all about. No way in hell did I want to have anything to do with this. I didn't know what this is going to be about, that I'm going to actually be compelled through the forced unemployment to do the stuff like this. Actually, that I will end up losing 28 years of life in the process, get cancer, and have spine broken. I have not dreamed about anything like this. Is beyond barbaric. This is beyond murderous. I don't know what to tell you. This is not okay. So this is
Starija pusti.
Ja.
about as good as
Ja, se bi se
witnessing
delal tam do enega leta,
a testimony can get.
98, ne?
Jaz sem delal
Za
mnogo.
2000 skoraj, ne? Tam okoli 2000.
I also tell him, you used to work. You retired sometimes in 99, I think that he retired, 2000.
Ste končal? Do kdaj ste?
Ja, jaz to pa ne vem.
Koliko let pa imate vi sploh? Koliko let imate?
I asked him, I said, then when did you, and then when did you finish your work? He says, I don't know. He said, then how old are you, I say.
Koliko ste?
Koliko star?
Ja,
To pa že 86.
86.
86. 86 does not look, especially because it's dynamic, anywhere as the oldest person inside. But I knew that he is the longest one inside of this facility. I knew that I recall him, that I had no way I could go possibly wrong with him. So there you have it.
80.
Ja,
Pa je bilo tako, da ste bil tam do enega skoraj 2000 leta, ste bil še aktiven, nekaj takega.
ja, nisem bil.
Veste, kako je bilo? Vi ste se upokojil, jaz vam bom povedal. Vi ste se upokojil uradno, ste se vi upokojil okoli 98. leta, ampak pa ste pa kar še pomagal jim tlele. I told him, you retired in 98 and then you continued to help them. I think that he should have retired in 98. It was something like this, but then they extended him and they gave him this work contract, whatever they did. They extended him because of involvement in this case, maybe even for another 4 years or something like this. Maybe this guy, I don't know, maybe he retired in 2002 or something like this. 2000, 2002, something like this. 2002. Še ne 3-4 leta ste kar imel komando tukaj.
Saj še zdaj moram kaj pomagati.
And he said that is correct, and I still have. I still go and I still supervise things. I still help. And he's laughing. Dajte, lepo se imejte.
Ima na večer je bila.
Dobro je. Lepo se imejte, lep večer vam želim. Adijo. He is relieved, he is happy now. And I say to him, he did a big legacy. He wanted to do this for me. He dreamed about doing exactly here. His dream actually was now fulfilled. Boy, this is going to be done in 2 parts because it's 1 hour and 50 minutes long. I have gone just through too much stuff. So the only thing I'm going to repeat on this audio recording is the conversation between him and me. And then separately what I'm going to do is, without this here, I'm going to attach those other recordings that I have already separately selected right here. And then that's going to be it. Pretty much I think I did a good job. You want me identifying home for elderly people, this is not even a problem. Vinkota se spomnim, Vinkova se mu reče. A se spomnite Vinkota? A se spomnite Vinkota?
Vinko?
Ja, Vinko iz Ljubljane je bil. A se ga spomnite? I said Vinko was the one who loved him from the psychiatric hospital Ljubljana Polje. He was the one who was so happy to see him every time. He loved him and his son. And so... On vas mu reče. Vinkova se mu tako reče. On se videl od vseh, kar je bil, da vas se mu ne reče.
Ja, ne vi.
Lepo se imejte.
Ja.
I don't even know what he said. Now I'm going to play you one more time. Te bi rekel, bom pa še vas pogledal, da vas vidim. Vas se tudi še spomnim. Dajte mi eno stvar povedati. A ste vi tukaj najdlje not v tem domu? Niste najdlje od vseh? Niste?
Dolgo pa sem, ja.
A dolgo pa ste?
Ja.
Niste pa najdlje? Koliko časa ste tukaj?
Ja, kot dom.
Toliko časa, ko je dom?
Za 40 let je že bil.
Pa vi ste tukaj 40 let.
Ja, jaz sem bil že vrtnarja, pa sem pomočil.
Pa sem uprav jaz to, ne? Da ste najdlje tukaj. Ja,
Žena sem imel tudi tukaj.
Prosim?
Žena je bila tudi tukaj.
A žena je bila tudi
Ja,
tukaj?
zdaj je pokojna.
Aha, koliko časa pa je?
Ja, 3 leta.
3 leta. Ampak so vas dali skupaj, pa so bila skupaj.
Skupaj.
In zdaj ni. Ja. Kaj pa kakšno? Ja. Ja, neš. Pa tle gre se malo okoli pogledati, vrtnarijo, pa kako je pa vse.
Ja, zdaj nič več.
Zdaj nič več.
Saj so vrtarija pustili,
Ja.
koze na bavli.
Ja, saj vi ste delal tam do enega leta 98, ne?
Jaz sem delal
Za
za
2000 skoraj, ne? Tam okoli 2000 ste končal. Do kdaj ste?
Ja, jaz to pa ne vem.
Koliko let pa imate vi sploh? Koliko let imate vi? Koliko ste?
Koliko star?
Ja,
To pa že 86.
86.
Ja,
Pa je bilo tako, da ste bil tam do enega skoraj 2000 leta, ste bil še aktiven, nekaj takega.
ja, nisem bil.
Vi veste, kako je bilo? Vi ste se upokojil, jaz vam bom povedal. Vi ste se upokojil, uradno ste se vi upokojil okoli 98 leta, ampak pa ste pa kar še pomagal jim tlele.
Tako.
Še ne 3-4 leta ste kar imel komando tukaj.
Saj še zdaj moram kaj pomagati.
A še zdaj pomagate, kot ste priljubili. Dajte, lepo se imejte.
Ima na večer rekla.
Dobro je. Lepo se imejte, lep večer vam želim. Adijo. Vinkota se spomnim, Vinkova se mu rek. A se spomnite Vinkota? A se spomnite Vinkota?
Vinko?
Ja, Vinko iz Ljubljane je bil. A se ga spomnite, on vas je mu rek. Vinkova se mu tako rek. On se videl od vseh, kar je bil, da vas se mu ne rek.
Ja, ne vi.
Lepo se imejte.
Ja,
Ajde.
hvala.
Adijo.
Adijo.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is what was just recorded yesterday. Thanks for watching this video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make a date and time, and separately I'm going to give you audio recordings, including this one. This is your date and time. Thank you for watching this video. This stuff here, I am not absolutely taking back absolutely anything. Now, there is just one more thing I have not clarified in this issue, so this is now a problem. It's located, this problem is located right here. There will be more people identified as a result of this now, including Mr. Simon. I was happy almost, I did my job, but the job still is waiting for me to complete one, and so it's not gonna happen, Bobby. Let's go back. And wow, boy, let's finish this the way it's supposed to be. Just as I had it yesterday from my father, ladies and gentlemen, I have identified some ladies below the father's floor. Yeah, they took to all the rooms, the entire facility. And not completely everything, okay, I can't identify every resident, but there was a lady right there that identified one or two, I don't know. Let's go, and I also need the confirmation for the Simon, because this is a very, very important stuff here, that some people could even go and you know, try to mess with me or something like this, and I'm just absolutely not taking back any word stated on this video. This is now eventually fortified and supported by the physical proofs. There was a man in Ljubljana, just as I stated, the psychiatric hospital, the situations at the psychiatric hospital, I described you one to the last millimeter as it was. So now, I'm sorry, I'm going to take you to another location, let's see.
Ja. Nikoli niste vi tako v bolnici posle, pa niste pa što delati. Jaz sem že 20 let tukaj. 20 let ste tukaj. Jaz sem delal karto, morate bo vse. Dobar dan. Hvala kulturi, ki ste vi tukaj. Aha. Vaša ja. Okay.
So I'm leaving from father. I go downstairs. And I do exactly what he told me to do under MK Ultra. Go to the floor below, and floor below you're gonna see, maybe you're gonna meet people that were involved. Most likely you will. You have to do this.
zdaj tudi po dom za starejše. Mislim, da je bil tam okoli prvič, ker ste šel prvič. Od tukaj, od tam moramo je. Probi. Pa če boš jedel, se bom nekaj fanta imaš. Najlepša vam hvala. Hvala lepa vam.
As I open the doors and the floor below, I am shocked when I see this lady. Actually, it's two ladies.
Kam bi prijal? Vi ne morate poznati. Kje?
This is still on the floor of the father. There is another resident I identified, male guy. See, I thought it's over. It's not. I tell him, I remember you. It was the first time you went to Home for Elderly in 2008, right? He says no. It already started sometimes in 2001, something like this.
Ste bil v drugem domu za starejše, ne? Preden ste tukaj prišel. Ja? Pa kdaj ste šel tam? V 2007, da ti tam? Ne? Je to vedno. Na tega prijatelja.
Okay, there is two people more I'm going to identify, not one. Okay, the first guy I'm about to identify, I can actually trace his health condition, how and when one deteriorated. It deteriorated to one in 2007 to the degree that he went to some, they were trying to get him, and it was not easy to get him. So meaning that Psychiatric Hospital Ljubljana Polje, I have actually witnessed how they were trying to deteriorate mental health of the people. Sorry to say this, but I actually was there. I actually witnessed the stuff when they pressured on their relatives and they were coming back and how is he doing, how is he doing, how is he doing. They were meeting the people behind the curtain, behind their backs, asking them and doing their best for their health to deteriorate enough to get them inside of the home for elderly people. So this was one of the guys, this guy, I can positively confirm this was not a natural deterioration of the mental health with this guy. And it did happen so that year was 2008, 2007, 2008 when it was a crack point for this guy. Do you dare to argue with me? I mean, this is how much. This is whom you have had next to you. This is who watched you doing this stuff. This is who witnessed you. I was drugged up, but maybe more sober than you are. I was brainwashed under influence of MK Ultra drugs, but my memory, my brain, sharper than the brain of those that clown around. This is the first man I identified. This guy who know me with excellence, this individual, this is a Slovenian political, this guy is a real Slovenian political case, which they would just randomly pick on because he sympathized with me. He felt strongly about Slovenian, and I can absolutely positively confirm was taken away for exactly what I stated here. Absolutely, I remember him. This man, when the next time I see him, I'll tell you that I think he's from area from Ljubljana area, something like this, Grosuplje, I have no idea, something like this in that area, something like this. Again, it's again taking me somewhere toward that area, toward the center of Slovenia, something like this. Absolutely, absolutely a house, absolutely with a sister, and this sister one sister for sure. Maybe I'm going to think something more to the next time, but he used to live with the sister, and sometimes in 2007, in 2008, it's what they call a crack. They basically got rid of him. They did deteriorate health enough to him. Very, very difficult situation for him. Stuff I was talking to you about on this video here, this is under no circumstances a joke. This here is a real deal. There you go. You got one of the residents that I can absolutely confirm for. This is a very, 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 very real stuff. I did regarded this case to United Nations also. I asked United Nations, Amnesty International, I mentioned this stuff. Listen up, people, this is not a joke, this is real. This is not a fake, this stuff is real. So I can tell you that this man, the only thing I'm going to do next time, because not that he would not recall, he just did not want to recall. He became afraid. They tried to get him for 5 years inside of the home for elderly people. And it was another facility. It was not this facility. I don't think it was this facility. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure about the facility. Okay. The facility wise and this and that I have to think about. However, I already remember who the guy is. Everything I remember. Everything, absolutely everything I remember. He says that he doesn't know. I said, but you were in another home for elderly people, am I correct? He says, yes.
Pa kdaj ste šel tam? V 2001?
And I asked, can you please tell me when did you go to that home for elderly people? Did you go in 2007?
Ja.
This guy went, I have no idea how they got him there. I'm not the only person who was subjected to MK Ultra. This guy went before he permanently stayed inside of the home for elderly people twice. He got out and he got back. It was like twice, and then again he got out, and then again they got him back. And he used to live with a sister. I remember the house, a family. I also remember this man here, who was sitting next to me. Him, I said, this guy also was in the home for elderly people, but here I make a mistake. He was paying visitations here. This was a very bad mistake. They always played with the hats. This guy, they always gave him green hats. Are you also from Celje? I tell him, aren't you? He says, no, I'm not. He is about 20 kilometers from here. This station here. It's not really easy, but you have to be patient, and patient really is a mother of wisdom. So I was wrong. He's not from Celje, he's from Dvor. Exactly what I demonstrated. But still, you know, once I get into something, I'm always determined to walk out, to walk away with it, with a firm proof in my hands. And I'm just in this case, as they got me, all right? They got me. Still, once I start pulling my cards out of sleeves, believe me, I'm still gonna walk away with a card in my hand.
Ampak vi ste pa že v domu postajali tam 2000, od samo enega leta 2000, ki pa tudi do 22 let, ne?
This guy this guy, I asked him, are you inside of the home already, homes for elderly, since 2000? This guy always was like this. This guy is, they haven't done anything to this guy. This guy always had a problem like this. He was not that I would say that it was also something political with him. But I had a feeling, I had impression with him that, I don't know, to me it was not always, I remember his family, his sisters, and just happened so that to me, when I estimated, because I estimate everybody, to me he did not, I remember this guy since 97 probably. To me he did not function completely everything as was the case with the other guy that I have mentioned right now, whom I have identified but would not want to confirm. And it was also other people who told me exactly what I stated right now. They were interested in taking him away since 99. Very seriously, they were keep coming back to these people and asking. They keep following up. You know, it's called follow up. That's basically what they did, psychiatrists. We would go on, we would go walking, hiking and stuff like this. They would take me along and they would keep coming and inquire about this guy. Sure enough, not for since 99 they did. And it looks like that the sister kept him. They kept him. Whenever, however, they had me inside of the home for elderly people, sure enough, they brought him inside. Sure enough, this home had a lot of different faces also from the outside.
Ja, tu je tukaj v Novi. Ja. Da pa predtem, pa niste bil kje v Ljubljani ali kaj takega? Ne.
No, he was with the sisters at home.
Idemo morje, kaj prosim? Idemo morje. 3 pa pol. Ja.
He is inside of this facility only 3.5 years. I mean, I told him, wait a minute, sir, I remember already your family and everything, your sister. I tell him, you know what? It's not your sister. You have 2 sisters. There you go. He says, yes, I do have 2 sisters. So I told you that before I walk away from the table, I'm going to throw the ace on one. I'm not walking away without something in my hands that is going to prove beyond any doubt that I know the person. He's got 2 sisters, not 1. He says yes. And there you have it. Thank you very much. More people identified under involved in MK Ultra. There is actually possibility from my end, when I consider this, that this guy maybe even was okay. I am not completely certain. I cannot completely guarantee about it. I cannot completely guarantee about it. His sister was this was a beautiful woman, curly hair, like a curly hair, you know, blue eyes, light hair. I remember her with like skin very, very much look-alike her brother. I would almost say almost like kind of a twin or something like that. Okay, one of the sisters. Okay. I remember the home. I remember I remember the people. So there you have two more people identified. You know what I tell them? I tell both of them that two of you shouldn't even be inside in here in the first place. Simple as this. I'm gonna help you out, I tell them. And I know that state doesn't like to hear this, but these are Slovenian people. These are people that were born here, and I don't like the ideology of the so-called New Slovenia. I don't like it like this by some politician to just give the order out to just go and grab the people from the street. Concentrated on our Slovenian people, with the accent on our people. I somehow don't see myself in this stuff. It was psychiatrists, like let's say Mr. Zoran Muja, psychiatrist, half Serbian, half Slovenian, who would drive me to buy properties in Serbia. He was buying properties. Whenever he would buy the property, I would have to be next to him. You know what I mean? I mean, Slovenia became completely depersonalized country, just really like a cash cow for some people from other locations that just the money goes like a knife afterwards back, like a boomerang basically against us in the form of tanks, fighter jets, bombs and stuff like this. It's not okay, this stuff. Of course I'm talking about the Serbia. I wish both a pleasant evening. I thank them and I go. I live. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. This is the floor below, and I open the door and I just glimpse inside to see what is in there. And I see the lady sitting and I say, bon appetit, hello. And they catch me immediately and it was like, what are you doing here? And I say, I just came to see a little bit, to glimpse a little bit, and I'm about to go. I say, you enjoy your food, have a good evening. And they don't want me to go. They want me to come inside. The ladies want to get me in there no matter what. Yeah, so the ladies say, come on in, come on in. They're already smiling, oh, they're happy. It's few of them sitting at the table, and I'm joking. I said, well, you don't like old grumpy to be around old grumpy guys, right? You ladies are beautiful, and you like it. You like to keep to yourself. And I didn't expect, you know, but it's difficult for them. I know. It's just they say that us that can come here and eat here, we do it here. Others do it inside of the beds. They lay down and if they cannot walk or whatever, and they eat there. It's a sad thing to see, and even the joke is you have to. The joke has got to find the right place. It's very difficult environment, you know. From the stuff I have spoken to you right now, you can get the feeling that this is not exactly the best place. That a lot of people pay a hefty price.
Ja. Vidiš, ženske se bolj znajo.
I keep joking and I tell them the women you know your whereabouts better. You can get around better. You have better orientation than us men.
Ja. Jih je pa
4:34, and what I am gonna do is I am gonna go like this, and I'm just gonna take this portion of it here, and the only thing I'll do is I'll just go and amplify this so that we can have a better overview on this. Because it's difficult for me.
Yes, kaj? Vidiš, ženske se bolj znajo. Ja. Jih je pa taki, ki imajo večje države. Ja, to je lepo, da so vse skupaj škole. Vas dve se že spomnim, gospe se tudi spomnim. Let cajt. Vi ste že kar let cajt tukaj. 6 let, tale gospa. 6 let. Vi pa, ja, bliž toliko.
One lady is there since 2015, which is like a long time based on the people that I met.
Ja. Manj ste? Niti dve. Aha.
And I'm saying for the other one, you're just also something like this maybe, huh? And she said, I'm just here 2 years. Okay, so I don't know, I'm trying to get a grip here before I pull my ace and walk away from the table again. I tell her, you know something, I tell her, you also has a daughter. She says, no, I had 3 daughters.
Ne, jaz se vas spomnim, vam bom povedal, jaz se vas spomnim še, veste, kako nazaj se vas spomnim, ki ste vi tukaj prihajali z mano, skupaj, midva smo prihajali, skupaj tukaj. Jaz se vas spomnim še tam v letu 2005, ki ste...
I tell her, listen lady, I recall you used to take me here to this place already in 2005. She said, no, I did not. Of course you did. She used to go and scout. I have no idea. There was other stuff. All these people that have daughters and children and grandchildren and stuff that need job and stuff like this, jobs, places for themselves, this was the place to be. And I definitely was the person to be around.
In ko ste vi meni rekla, vaša hčerka, o kateri govorim, jo lahko celo vidim, kako izgleda, otrokama, njena starost, njena starost je povečala nekje moje, ki takega starosti. Kako otrok, sam trenutek, da bom povedal. Prosim?
I tell her, your daughter, this is just about my age, I tell her, and she's got a children.
Vaše hiše se spomnim.
I tell her, I recall your house too. I tell her the house. The house was a problem because she had a room to herself, supposedly with a husband who died 2 years ago. But she moved into that room. She moved into that part of the house. And the young occupied where she used to be before. So, for one thing, I'm going to tell you, when she moved to that part of the house, you see, because I leave myself in this. I'm with you right now. The way you show me, the way you demonstrated me. And so I remember, I can recall all this stuff. You see, next time when we meet, we're going to talk about this kind of stuff. I'm going to ask you about this stuff, how you moved to the room that previously kind of your daughter did not like her. And then you moved to that room. So. She says, do you go to Gorjanci? Do you go to Trdino Vrh, Sveta Gera and stuff like this? I say, yeah, sometimes I go. I said, yeah, I was all over. Yeah. She said, I'm from Gabarje. That is in direction of Gorjanci. Gabarje? Oh, that would be like... oh, wait a minute. That's here. This here. This will be here. Okay, so that will be this thing here. Whoa, 24 kilometers. No, I wouldn't figure out. Wait a minute. This is Gospodic now. What is this here? Not that much. No. Jugorje. Okay, just about something Brusnica. Okay. So you see, I know basically what the house looks on the inside. Now, when we are talking about this stuff, I know what the house looks on the inside. She tells me the location, where the location is more or less in this Gabarje. But, you know, I need to walk away as a winner. This is not enough. I need more proofs about this stuff. She tells something about some restaurant that is near or something like this. I don't know. Oh yeah, some old building. There was a school before, she says. It's a good thing about me. The good thing about me is I remember on the inside what it used to look like. This was audio recorded, by the way, yesterday. And I'm going to state today, so that somebody's not going to have wrong ideas about it all, that their house is not so new. Their house looks like a newer house. But when it comes to the age of the building, you know, I would estimate their house to be probably even over 50 years old now. This is already probably between 60 and 50 years old house. She says, no, we never came here. She says, we never came here. And I said, lady, I said, you and I, we used to come here together. Yeah, now what I do is, I joke. I like to joke a little bit. So now I tell her, I'm going to tell you what your house, the size of your house is. And the color. It's not, it was not beige. I made a mistake. Like, it was not. She says no. Her house white with some like a cuts inside, something like this. The only thing I remember is that the daughter didn't like the room very much at all. She was not satisfied with the room, and that's exactly where mom had to move afterwards in that room.
Take dve zbavljajo, ne?
Ne, prva je bila pa tako, taka rišče za not, tako.
She says it was not like this. Okay.
Je bilo.
Vaša hiša, bom jaz povedal,
I tell her, listen, lady, I'm gonna tell you now.
vaša hiša je vaša hiša je tam okoli 10x10 metrov.
I tell her, you know, lady, I'm gonna tell you exact size of your house. Your house is about, you know, I go and I count the meters and I said, your house is about 10 by 10.
Pa eno nadstropje na gor,
Ja, eno.
pa očitno je, ja, nad tistim, ki je gor, 10x11.
And you know what the lady says? She says, you are correct. Dimensions of the house, yes, you're correct. Dimensions of the house are not 10 by 10 meters, but 10 by 11 meters. And it's exactly as I stated. There is a floor above, and then you have this, not Starejših or whatever the name is. So there's just no escape, because I remember the house. I was inside in there. I remember the room. I know the room where she moved to. Next time when I meet you, and we're gonna have like maybe a little memories we can revive about
Je
this.
pa ena druga stvar. Ta hčerka, ki je doma ostala, vaša, ta je imela, da vam jaz povem, natančno da vam povem.
Kako ste vi? Kako ste vi?
Lady is saying, where are you from? Who are you? Where are you from? Ha ha ha. And I tell her I'm from Krka. And I tell her my name.
Malo skupaj sem bil bolj. Skratka ena.
I tell her I used to have extra kilos. I give her my name and stuff. So that
Skratka ena. Šta na osjećanje? Iz Krke je šlo zdravno malo naprej. Malo sem bil bolj tako presep. Bolj presep sem bil. Ja. Vem, da je imela vaša hčerka tako doma. Ona ima enega fanta, se pravi sina. Nima enega... Ne, vi ne, sina. Nobena nima sina.
okay, that's basically when I make a mistake, because I state that the daughter has a son, the one that is at home, and she's all happy that she doesn't have a son. The no daughter of 3 daughters, no daughter has a son. Okay, so you have a granddaughters then, so big deal. And she hears up that we never met, and we never met. Now Mr. Simon comes in the picture. Mr. Simon is a big deal, because he alone claimed me that the ladies, that if I'm still gonna be around, that he's gonna scare them away. That's what he stated me. And so Mr. Simon comes, the man I have, the last dot on the map that I still have to correct in respect to this video here, which is partially wrong, but mainly right, and it's gonna stay right there. Mr. Simon comes to confirm that he is actually employed here since 2004. Thank you so much, sir. And that's basically really what I need at this point, because I'm sure there were people that already believed how wrong I am. Well, today they're gonna realize just how wrong they were and are. Exactly what I needed. You can hear the banging on of the dishes. That's the guys, that's a Simon and his crew. Well, I said to them, all right, lady, you take care of yourself, not before I say this. In 2019, 2020, when I was brought from Poland, the lady was unhappy with the situation at home in Gabria. She told me that she would want to spend more time. Her situation, she complained me, is not okay. So you tell me, if I did come to this home for elderly people with you, lady, or not. I think I did. You complained me actually about things that could be better at home. Okay, so I am gonna follow up with you. I am not gonna let any one of you down. I'm not here to let people down. I myself am not happy about when things are not okay with other people. This is not the kind of person I am. So what I am gonna do is I ask her if she goes sometimes at home to Gabria, and she says, yeah, they come to pick me up. No, not too good, not too good. I got complaint in 2019, 2020 from you, lady, and you know. And I say goodbye and take care of yourself. Thank you very much. Goodbye. But I see the Simon and I waste no time to exchange a little bit with him about my posting on a website information about his whereabouts at this hospital, at this home for elderly people and hospital.
Dobar dan svima. Dobar dan, bude, boja.
How are you? He say, good, thank you. How are you? We salute each other. How is the father? Doing fine, thank you. I said, you worked in the hospital before, right? He said, No, I never worked in the hospital before. You mistaken me for somebody else. You mistaken me for somebody else. Hell, a little bit nervous. I'm 20 years here already. Okay, wait a minute now. That's a real trouble. 20 years here already. Okay, so that was 2002. Let me think about this. Since it was 98, and this might have been, God knows, young kid he was. He would come to see me. Until 2005, he claimed me he was employed at the hospital, that he was working there as a nurse, which is a strong possibility that he would go and do his practical portion of work, you know, because everybody, when you go to this technical stuff for the either you know, registered nurse or whatever you go, and I think that he's a registered nurse actually. You have to do your if you go to high school, whatever it is, you have to do your practical work. And I do think that he was doing his practical work inside of the hospital, at least. And if he was not doing this and was just escorting me home from this hospital, whatever, I'm not gonna say that he is just jerk, but that's just not nice, whatever. It's okay though, it's not a bad guy. But the thing is that on my news site, on this very page, on this very video, I've stated some information that is not in line with what he is about to say here. He said 20 years, then the next thing you're going to hear, he's going to reduce this and he's going to say here since 2004. Okay, since 2004, this is not 20 years, that's 18 years. Now we are closer to year 2005 than ever before. So if he have not, okay, you understand me? Let me translate this to you here, this stuff here, okay? Right here is written that sometimes in 2005, Mr. Simon pre-qualified himself from the hospital into the home for elderly people and was since working at home for elderly people. He previously was based in the same part of the hospital where neurological department, where my father was also hospitalized. Okay, let's see this translated in plain English, this here, okay? This, what is this here? Here. Mr. Simon moved, requalified for work to a home for elderly from the same building of Novo Mesto Hospital, right? From the same building where he was, he pre-qualified for work into home for elderly people where he worked since 2005. Now he stated 20 years. In 20 years, that was 2002. That's like 3 years away from 2004 to actually from 2005. He says I'm 20 years here. I don't even understand what he's saying because it's so fast here. Okay, so actually I did not even realize. I think he is actually saying that he did some practical work at the hospital that he did. So that part again also is confirmed. So this thing here, it's like 100% exactly what I stated it would be. So this is, you know, as much as some people might get impression about something, they got a wrong impression. Everything here stated, except that I identified one more person and mistaken one for a gentleman. Therefore, that I mistaken gentleman from Ljubljana for the gentleman from Trebnje, which is a plus for me because I identified one more person. Everything, absolutely everything is exactly what it's supposed to be. exactly what it's supposed to be, without a single error, without a single mistake. Everything on place. Everything on place. Him. Therefore, I'm talking about year 1997 he commenced, 1998, two other guys. And then he, upon my return from United States, which was listed for 2006, he'd be ready 2005, did a transfer to a home for elderly people, I suppose to assist me. I did not know anything about stupidity Slovenian government got himself into. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no way you can pass any of this witnessing. Everything is confirmed with audio recording. Yes, he was doing the practical work inside of the hospital, but other than that, I'm here already for 20 years. So I said to him, you started to work inside the home for elderly people, therefore in 2002. And he says in 2004, not 2002. Well, there you have it. That's your 2005 right here. That's exactly what you even heard me state in English language. So that's one more person identified. There isn't much to say here. Boom, boom. This is about some other people that are not even on the picture, and I am asking about some, if he knows somebody that started to work in 97, 98 also, and this and that. And he does not give me the answer of any kind on that issue, and that's something you are gonna have to go, if you want to listen to this to yourself, because I will post this stuff. So this is a 4:42, and we commenced here, ladies and gentlemen. I thank you all very much for your patience, for staying up with me, but this is it for me. I'm gonna clock out now, if you understand what I mean.
Yeah.
Peace with you all. I think you got a good taste of who I am, what I can do. And not only about that, but basically what you have just heard, what I have done. Undisputably, nobody possibly can argue. Irrefutably, the home for elderly is identified. As far as the residents, employees, even that I could go way further than that, but try me. Today is July the 3rd of 2022. Thank you for watching this video. Plenty of MK Ultra proofs now.